All right, welcome everybody. My name is Ken and I'm going to take you through this stretch and roll class today. Today we are going to be using a foam roller and a mat, and we're going to be rolling and stretching and doing all the fun things. If you don't have a foam roller but you have like a ball, you can also use that. You can also use a rolled up towel in some cases. It won't roll, but you can do rolls over that, or any type of foam object. If you got some styrofoam from an old TV, that it'll squeak a lot, but that'll also work. The idea is that something that's a dense product underneath the tissue. That is what we're looking for. Okay, let's go ahead and get going. So we're going to start at the upper back today. All right, so I have a white foam roller here. I use this for this class as a low density foam roller, but I'm wearing black, so it's a lot easier to see the foam roller when we do that. Let's get started up in the neck and back area. We'll work our way down the back of the body, and then we'll come up the front of the body. So we start on the neck. It's a good place to usually start. We're laying down on our back. Hands can be out or they can be up on the chest, wherever you prefer. You want to apply a little bit of pressure. You're right in that wedge of the neck. Apply a little bit of pressure and rotate the neck to the left. And look to your right shoulder. We're going to do about 10 of these. Good. 2. Good. Applying that little bit of pressure will help kind of knead on that neck. I was saying earlier, even if you had a big pillow or roller, you could still do this one. Good. 2 more each side. Last one to the left. Last one to the right. Very good. We're going to roll that foam roller up to the base, back of the head, and all we're going to do is look straight up. Chin goes up, and then we're going to kind of ease our chin down. So we don't want to let it just drop. We want to kind of ease it down. Stretch both ways. Good. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more here. Just 8 of these. 7. And number 8. Perfect. Good neck roll. Next one's going to be mid-back. All right, so we're going to take this foam roller. We're going to put it right up against the back. We're going to lay down on it so that the middle of our back, not the lower back, but the middle of the back, is on that foam roller. We're going to use our hips and glutes. We're going to lift our glutes right up off the ground. Hands can either be crossed, can be behind the head, can be supporting the neck. I prefer to support the neck because when we roll, sometimes our neck gets hung out to dry. We're going to go base of the neck all the way to mid-back. So you can see I'm actually going from toe to heel on my feet. This gives me that extra leverage and that extra distance to roll this right along the back. Very good. And what we're looking for is anywhere between 8 to 10 rolls, 30 seconds to a minute on each space. Let's go ahead and extend our left arm. And now you'll see my knees kind of come over. We're gonna roll right on that left shoulder blade. Couldn't spit that out, that's okay. And you can actually, if you wanna try to move it while you roll, feel the different parts of that muscle moving. Let's go ahead and switch side. You may get some cracks, pops, crunches. That's okay. That's just usually on the cracks on the back. That's the vertebrae shifted into a little bit of better space because you're kind of pushing them there. Some of the crack and crunches are ligaments and cartilage that are a little tight. Excellent. Let's go ahead and back to the back. I want you to just put the butt down. And we're just going to let the hands down, let the neck out. A little compression on the upper back here. Never hurts. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bring it back up. We're going to switch the foam roller We're going to go to high glute or low back, but we're not going to roll in the part of your low back that we would refer to. We're going to be right above the glute area. So those sit bones, if you will, or right that high pelvis area. So what it's going to look like is we'll go ahead and lay down on our back. I will show you. We're gonna lift the butt up just like we did before, but we want that to be right. We don't like, see, this would be my low back, and I don't want it there. I want it a little bit like one roll below that lower back, and that'll sit on the top of those hips, the high glutes, and then we want to take our hands and pull them up, put them on the foam roller so it doesn't roll out. Knees come up, feet come up, and then all we do is roll back and forth on those sit bones. Good. If you feel like you're rolling on your lower back, lower that just a little bit. Good. And you can cross the legs if it's easier to hold them up. If that's a little too much, you can do it from here. Feet go down. You'll have a little bit of a stretch in that one too. If you have the feet down, this one just puts it a little bit more in the glutes and puts less pressure or less stretch on the low back. Good. Couple more here. Good, good, good. 2 and 1. Very good. Great job on those. Now we're going to kick it out. We're going to do the glutes next, but I want to go ahead and get on it the proper way. We're going to bring it back here. Just lift up so that it's under that glute. So you can see it's under that left glute. What I'm going to do is just kind of on this side, this leg can be straight, or it can just bend with the other leg. The opposite leg wants to be planted. That's where we're pivoting on. Good, good, good. Keep it going. Three, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead. If you can, you're going to cross this leg over. This is going to isolate the piriformis a little bit more and glute medius. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to roll a little bit more on that glute and a little bit on the side too. We'll kind of go back and forth. So here's the side of the glute. Here's that piriformis of the glute. And we're almost going to where we were in the sit bones when we did that foam roll a minute ago. We're going a little bit further up the glute because we're isolating that. We're stretching at 3, 2. And if this was difficult, you can always put the leg down and pivot off the heel. That is fine as well. All right, let's go ahead and switch it up. So one leg, this leg will straighten it to start. Put that leg on. If that's where you can be, that's great. If you can bring it up, that's also great. Good job on these, everybody. Trying to release the tissue. Long week. Sometimes it's good to get that release in and that stretch in. Just a dedicated time to really roll out the tissue. Tell the tissue that it needs to relax. And then stretch it out to show it how to relax. All right, we're going to continue down. We're just dropping out from here. Hamstrings, one at a time. I like to do hamstrings and calves one at a time. Just a little easier to get this done because now I can plant this leg up and I can roll right over that hamstring. Leg's going to stay straight, and I'm trying to apply pressure. I can even push down on my knee if you're able to, but you don't have to. Pressure alone, just your weight should allow enough. Roll this one, roll that toe in, roll that toe out. We'll do this for the calves and the quadriceps. Excellent. 3, 2, and 1. Slide it around. Other side. Here we go. Good. Make sure you're rolling that foot in. This just hits outside and inside of the muscle group. And if you can use 2 hands, maybe be even more effective for you. A few more on this one. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And since we're already on the side, we're going to do the same thing with the calf. Nothing different, just a little lower on the body, a little bit more shoulder. You could try to lean a little forward so it puts a little bit more into the leg. And again, toe in, toe out. Toe out will actually hit a little bit of the tibialis. So if you almost put that toe sideways, you'll feel this muscle belly rolling right here, and that's that tibialis in the front. I'll add a couple more rolls to this in case you want to concentrate on that tibialis. That would be your shin splints. If you get shin splints a lot, that would be a good one to roll out, especially before and after runs. Shin splints is kind of a separation of sorts of the muscles, so pressing it back down, never a bad thing. All right, let's go ahead and switch the calf up. Same thing. Now, there is no shortage of the shoulder getting a little tired doing this, so you can put the butt down in between. That's okay, because you are putting a lot on the hands, wrists, and shoulders. To roll these areas, there are some alternatives. If you look up what's called a massage stick, it's a long thing, and you can actually roll it underneath and roll the hamstrings if foam rolling is a little too much on the shoulders and hands. I think the one that I've always gotten was called a tiger tail. That's just another option if the foam rolling is just a little difficult. Oof, sometimes you find a little tight spot. You find that tight spot, remember, sit on it, 3, 2, 1, and then roll it again. All right, let's finish up on the calf. That one may have been a little longer because I felt that one. All right, and that's okay with foam rolling. That's part of foam rolling, is making sure that we're rolling the areas that need to be rolled. If they're a little tighter, spend a little bit more time on them. You don't want to go further than a minute or probably 12 rolls, because then you're just over rolling them and then irritating the tissue. There's that fine in between of like kneading the tissue and telling it needs to relax, and then overboard and rolling 20 times on it and then bruising it and making it irritated. So try to stay under that 12 to 15 roll range, or under a minute, and you should be all right. All right, laying on the quads. This one you can also do 2 on, or you could do 1 at a time like we did with the calves and hamstrings. If you have tight, or if you're doing this and you feel this pretty good, I would not recommend the 1. That may be a little extreme for you in the beginning. The other thing that you could do too is, while you're on 2, just lean on one side. Let me lean on this side so you can actually see me lean. So I just picked this right thigh off the foam roller, put it on all my weight on the left, and we'll do the same thing over here. Good, rolling it through. And make sure we get to the base of that knee. I wasn't really getting as far. You may have to hinge a little bit further. You can see how far, if I want to get right to the base of the pelvis, I'm going to go quite a distance here. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Excellent. And I should say that, like, even if you do end up bruising these, get a little crazy on one of them, it's not going to cause any major issues. It's just going to cause a little bit more recovery cycle in that area. But it's always good to increase that range of motion and knead things out. All right, so we're going to do the hip flexor. We've done this a couple times on these workouts, but the hip flexor is an interesting one to do. I'm going to just come a little closer so I can show you. The hip flexor in psoas the hip flexor runs like this, and the psoas run like this into that pelvis. They connect into the pelvis. All right, these are muscles that shorten a lot. So when we're sitting a lot, they're shortened. If we're standing a lot, they get tired and they shorten. So we can't win either way. But what happens to them is, as they shorten, when we stand up, they're so tight, they're pulling our pelvis in. So what we want to do is roll them out. Weird roll, awkward roll, I shouldn't say weird roll, but it is a good one to do. What you want to do is, this is the way we're rolling. So if I'm rolling on my right side, foam roller is going to be pointed towards the right shoulder, all right? Because this wouldn't work. It's got to go in between the pelvis there. So what we would do is we would lay this down at that angle, And then we would just lay down over this so that it's on that pelvis. And then you could see I'm just going to do small half rolls over. All right. I'm really letting the weight of my midsection, if you will, my glutes, my abdominals, just sit over that hip flexor and psoas. These, you'll feel these. They'll kind of like tense up a little bit. They'll shoot down to the quads. They'll shoot down to the toes. Sometimes up through the midsection. That's okay. That's all trigger points. And what this will do is this will tell those psoas and hip flexors that they gotta loosen up a little bit, like we talked about. Loosen up, relax, allow us to be an upright animal, walking normal without any pulling on the pelvis. And we just might get through a weekend without some back pain or something, you know? Excellent. So we're gonna switch the sides. So it's gonna be the same thing. We turn it the other way, and then I'm almost laying down normal with that under the hips, and then it's just a little half roll. Not a lot of rolling on this one. Again, using the foam roller's density against my tissue to kind of knead it out. And this is one too, if you weren't comfortable rolling, you could let it sit and you would still be putting pressure on that area. The psoas and hip flexors will react to that, but just like a little wiggle, little back and forth to get that area rolled out. Awkward area, I know, but very, very effective. Awesome. All right, hip flexors out of the way. So we're going to get into the chest and arms. I will say this is another one where we like to use the foam roller for this so that it's a consistent rolling pattern. But if you have a lacrosse ball, tennis ball, I recommend those on a daily basis, just rolling out that lacrosse ball, tennis ball, rolling it on the arms, forearms. We use our upper body a lot. We get into this kind of rolled over position because we're always here or we're always here, whatever we're doing in front of our body. So in order to get that posture back, we want to roll out the chest. We already rolled out the back, but sometimes we don't roll the chest out and we get pulled over. Even though we loosen back here, this is pulling us forward. So rolling out the chest, important. Little difficult to get to it, but the chest striations, right? They go like this. We want to go against those striations. So we want to roll like this. So opposite, it points to my left shoulder if I'm doing my right pec. And what I'm going to do is similar to the pelvis, I'm going to lay my chest muscles right on it. And then staying up a little bit, I'm just going to roll over to the armpit pocket or the top of the shoulder, down that pec. Now, if you've got a little bit of mass in the chest, for the ladies, you can actually take this and roll up. Just keep it up top. So what you would do is here, and to stay at the top of the pec, you would just go up at the top. We don't need to roll. The pec all starts up here. We're trying to get the pectoralis major. The minor and medius all connect up here as well. We don't need to go past that nipple line, I would say. We just can stay up at the top of the pectoral. All right, so if you're not on the other side yet, let's go ahead and switch it up. Again, laying that pec right on it. Whichever way is easier, either the cross-sectional, or if you can put the foam roller the other direction and go at the top. Excellent. You feel a spot? Sit on it like we talked about. 3, 2, 1, and then roll again. Excellent. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job on the rolling today. We did the back all the way down, head down to toes, and then we came up the front side. We can do some arms. I want to get some stretching in, but if we were going to let's do a quick arm. We'll do a quick forearm. Actually, I can get those in pretty quickly. We're going to go palm down, and we're going to roll through. We're just going to do 5 rolls, and this one could also be done with a ball on a table if you're seated. And all we're going to do after that is turn that palm over, palm up, and roll the extensors. 3, 2, 1. Very good. Let's do the other side. palm down. And the further to the outside of the body, the more you can get that palm down and feel that a little bit more. And then the palm up, you can be leaning over it to get that pressure. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. For bicep, tricep, you could put this against a wall. So I've always used, if you have a windowsill or something where you can put your body up top for the bicep, you can go up and down on the bicep. This is where, again, I would go with a ball, a lacrosse ball, tennis ball, any type of sports ball you have, and roll out the bicep, tricep. We're going to get them stretched out though, so we should be okay. All right, let's go ahead and start on the ground. We're going to start our stretches in the backside. That's where we started the rolling. So let's start the stretches there. We're going to go into a child's pose. We're going to use the foam roller though to get us extended out a little bit further. We're going to go where we can. So you can just walk it out there. And then once you're there, let the foam roller roll you over just a hair more in that seated child's pose. Hold for me. Just shift forward, let that foam roller roll you a little bit more. Pulling on those shoulders, pulling on that lat, that mid back. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and come up. We're going to go to the side, reach it out to the left now, and we'll feel that pull in that right lat. Excellent. And let it roll, let it sit. Just 10 seconds on each side here. 2 and 1. Let's go to the other side. Very good. Let it roll. And 1. Excellent. Excellent stretch on that one. What we want to do here now is the foam roller going to be in front of us, and we're going to put the palms opposite. So here's my palms. I'm just going to put them on here. And all we're going to do is let the foam roller roll a little bit. We'll feel that stretch come up the forearms. So we put it in front, we put it on the back side, and then roll the foam roller over. So you feel that good stretch. And the inner forearms, these are our flexor tendons. Come up a little bit on the bicep too. 3, 2, 1. Excellent stretch. Now we're going to go the other way. And we're just going to put the hands on top and a little press down, a little lean over. You'll feel this in the wrist. It's the same as doing this. You don't need to lean over it. You just need to push it out a little bit. You can even sit back a little bit and you'll feel that stretch come through a little bit more. Or if you feel more comfortable, put the hands. So I can show you the side view. Just my knuckles are there so that it puts less pressure on the wrist. So if you don't like that pressure on the wrist, just go the hands and then you'll feel a little more stretch without as much wrist. Up to you where your comfort zone is on those. 3, 2, and 1. Great job. We're going to get into that chest next. Let's go ahead and either reach our hands behind, just a big reach behind. If you can't grab them, that's fine. And all we're doing is a little pull. Good. And then I want you to look down. I want you to kind of not straight up in the air, but kind of angled. How's that pull pulling you? It's pulling you a little bit back, right? So just kind of let the neck stay neutral and look straight up so that it follows whatever trajectory your trunk is doing. Good. Hold that. Really stretching out those chest and shoulders. And we're getting some arms in here. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Very good stretch. All right, we want to just lean the neck. Let's go ahead and you can place the hand on there. I'm not looking to pull. I'm looking to place for weight. Nice and easy. We're just stretching out those mastoid muscles of the neck. 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and switch it up. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's do 4 shoulder rolls. 3, 4, and just a little pull back, and then 4 forward. 3, 2, and a little reach forward. Excellent job. Let's get to the lower body. Got a few minutes left here to handle our glutes. Now you could do this one seated or laying down. I'm laying down. I'm using the foam roller as a pillow. I'm going to cross one leg over the other. Obviously, if we were seated, we would still cross them. I would just be in an upright position in my seat. If this is difficult, you could straighten it out. That's totally fine. Once we get to here, I want you to take this hand, push it in. We want to feel that pull in the hip area. Excellent. Let's take that opposite hand, grab the outside of the knee. The same side hand comes down to the ground, and we're going to just pull it over. If you need a little bit more, drop that leg. You'll feel that glute kick in a lot more with the dropped leg. And just pull it as far as you can here. Open hand. Really feeling it coming through the glutes here. Good, nice hold, folks. Three, 2, and 1. That's a good one for the glutes. Let's go ahead and get the other side. As we talked about, push it in. And like I said, you're going to feel that in that hip. This is actually a psoas hip flexor stretch. So we're pulling and stretching in there. Three, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and grab and pull it across. Again, if you need more, drop that leg. And some of you may be able to bring it a lot further than me. Tight hips is my excuse. Hands still out here. It's one of the reasons I like to support the neck here, because then I'm not worried about where my neck and head are going. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Nice and easy now. Go ahead and come up into a seated position. The idea here is we're going to try to reach for our toes. Now, some of you may not be able to get there. That's okay. That's where the foam roller is going to come in. If you're not able to get to the toes, what I want you to do is I want you to take that foam roller, similar to how we did with the child's pose, and I just want you to roll that foam roller out. This will give you a structured baseline how far out you can go, right? If you are able to touch your toes, we're just going to reach out and grab those toes. And this will be our last hold. 20 seconds here, folks. I want you to breathe in, and as you exhale out, try to get a little further. Every 2 breaths, try that. Good, and try to reach that foam roller a little further if that's what you're using. Three, 2, and 1. Excellent. Now, you may be somebody that's always reached your toes. You may be somebody that hasn't reached your toes. That's not always a product of fitness. Sometimes it's a product of what we call mobility. So this version, these stretch and roll sessions, they are what increase mobility and eventually stability. So we need to be mobile first, and then we need to stabilize the joint. So hopefully you feel a little bit more mobile today. You feel a little bit more loose. And you'll join me next time for Stretch and Roll. Thank you so much for joining me. Excellent, excellent job, everybody. Ooh, nice work. Yes, that was fantastic.